Oh, working with King was fun. It was so laid back. We went to their house. They have an awesome little setup in their house, in their home in LA. When I walked in, they had this amazing grandmama organ. It's the kind of organ that it has the little pedals, but it also has the preset drum beats. We started jamming with Paris playing the keyboards and me messing around on preset drum patterns. And I was like, hey man, what if I started pressing 2 and 3 and 4 at the same time? But when I started to do that, it started to shape out this interesting beat. You know, when you press 2 at the same time, or if you press 3, it makes like a certain turnaround. We started to put melodies in different shapes to that, you know, and I guess the song started to come and rear its head through just jamming. Oh man, working with Shafiq is fun, you know. It's almost like a painter's approach, you know. He's a painter as well. He'll use the most random stuff or things that you wouldn't think about to bring out the groove. Instead of the hi-hat, he'll get like a ticking noise from what the record player was doing and make that the hi-hat. Like, he's just a quirky guy like that, you know? He starts with a bunch of different things and then he slowly just takes things away. When he gets finished taking things and adding things, it's just a crazy, immense amount of funk just starts to come out. Like, oh man, you know? The main melody of the song, me and Rob had that idea for a long time. It was probably a song like 3 or 4 different times. I think we were in Spain at a concert he was doing out there, and I was like, man, you know, what about that idea, you know? And he knew it right off. He was like, oh, back to this again. You know, like, this is like the 9th time we tried to write a song off this melody. We decided we were going to do it as a duet. When he was playing the piano, it started making me think about like being outside. One of the guys that was working at the studio put a mic in his book bag and walk around the neighborhood while we were recording our part. And then when he came back, he added that over the track and it just opened up everything, you know? I had a wish list of a bunch of people that I wanted to work with, and then Commissioner Gordon like called my manager out of nowhere, like, hey, I heard Bilal doing an album, I want to mix it. It was like I was being punked. And when we went in his studio, he had the whole analog board, the analog tape machines, and he had the digital setup, and that was his full approach. So it just, man, it just worked perfectly. One of my favorite painters is Salvador Dali. Salvador did a project with a photographer, and they did a whole book of his work in motion. He would take a painting and they would try and recapture it with the camera. He had where he took a lot of nude women, turned the shape of their body into a skull. And when you look far back, it looks like a skull, but the closer you look at the picture, you see it's female bodies. So I was like, man, I want to recreate that. When we got with Mark, he's like, yes, we're going to do the skull. And then I was like, you know what would be dope? We should do a flower, because skull really represents death. And what I wanted to bring about with this project is just a new awakening for what I'm doing, you know, is I just gotten a new zest for, you know, how I want to be perceived and how I want myself music to come about. And, you know, the way I wrote this was so beautiful and simple, and, you know, that I said, let's do a flower instead of, you know, a skull. This is like, it feels like a new beginning.